Some of the days go wrong and then some of the days go right. Meaning life can make you weak, but we can walk you to the light. The life where dreams come true are just the nightmares of the hype. Where love and hate are roommates, pleasure and pain are friends. Peace and war and lovers, insane and insane are twins. Cause I want it all and nothing ain't enough for me. And all I need is love, but why y'all all up under me? Plus I would like to see every single lady's sex face. At the same time, man, I'm looking for my soulmate. I feel so religious, spirits living up above. But I gotta admit, I want my chariot with doves. And I could be your Superman and I could set you free. But honestly, I need the cash and I'm charging a fee for my cigarettes and water, my fruit juice and my alcohol, my salads and my pork chops. I got high cholesterol. Lois says she love me, then she hit me up for child support. Lex baby mama ain't gon' never take his ass to court. Got me in this nightclub, trying to get my mind right. When she bent over, I was looking at my whole life. So once upon a time on a planet called Earth, a man dug in his pockets just to see what he was worth. Well, rabbit is with more than Eric B. and Rakim. Then the infinite power that he was holding within got him kinda confused, obligated, misused. Got in front of a microphone a couple times and he spewed his whole guts. Some of the things he loved and some of the things he loves. Some of the funky hate, some of the funky trust. And thus mixtape became an album. Your first installment has started. You're welcome.
As Ali Sadiq would say, hey. As you see by the thumbnail, the title, American Gaslighting. And I'm gonna, just say a couple of things about gaslighting. The definition, is basically a form of manipulation or abuse that involves manipulating someone into questioning their own reality. So you can have denial, you can have shifting the blame, you can have minimizing, you can have withholding information, you can have countering, you can have discrediting somebody, deflecting, using, love as a weapon, or you can rewrite history. Now there's something like an example would be, say, questioning somebody's memory, refusing to listen, or faking like you're confused to make somebody doubt themselves, to belittle or disregard somebody's feelings. That's minimizing. But refusing to take responsibility for their actions, changing the focus of the discussion by questioning somebody's credibility, which is another, a major thing, and using negative stereotypes against someone. So now that we got that part out the way, why is this important? Because American gaslighting goes all the way from, before the actual inception of the country we know as America. And what I mean is, we live in a country where it was profitable and lucrative for people to lie, manipulate, and scam other people. And people played stupid doing it the whole time. So when you live in a country like that's founded upon one of those principles, you got to start asking the question about the people in the country and what works for people. Because part of what we consider American capitalism is really just gaslighting. People are gaslighting, for money. They're trying to get over for quote unquote the American dream. So let's just, for an example, we're gonna say, everybody, you can make it in America. This is your country. And it's like, no, it's actually not your country. Let's just be honest. You didn't pay. Like white people came to this country on, basically on a pilgrimage, and they stole a country. They didn't pay for it, really. They didn't trade for it, really. They got some people drunk and told them that you gave us all this land, or they befriended some people and then killed them and said, this is mine. So that's one instance of, the foundation of American gaslighting, because people just go, manifest destiny is, American gaslighting 101. God told me all of your stuff is for me. And this is what I'm supposed to have. It's all of your stuff. God ordained it. He told me. He didn't tell nobody else, but he told me. So what I do, it's because God told me to do it. Oh, okay. Right. Okay. This is what we doing. Interesting. Because religion is a major part of the gaslighting, in America. That's a major aspect of what we consider gaslighting in America, because God is an excuse for devilish behavior. You get what I'm saying? So it's 101 to me. It's just like, it's gaslighting is America's pastime. It's one of America's pastimes. So the other thing, if you fast forward, you go into slavery. God told us that you are a slave and God ordained you to be a slave because of your black skin. God says slavery is good and obey your master. The Bible was talking about indentured servitude. That's why sometimes people don't reference this well enough, where indentured servitude, that's why they say slavery in Africa was different than slavery in America. Indentured servitude is basically what the Irish were going through when they came here. They were slaves for 7 years, and then they paid off their debts, and they were free to do whatever. That's the slavery that the Bible is talking about. You owe a debt, or you're trying to pay a debt, and you have to deal with your labor. That's the slavery the Bible is talking about. Now, as far as that you can quote unquote obey, the other slavery, the Bible says you should kill somebody who tries to enslave you. I mean, that was the other, when they knew that people were basically enslaving people for their own personal gain. It was like, you need to kill those people. Deserve to get killed. See, people skip over that part. But nonetheless, we got the gaslighting of slavery. God told me to do this, and you deserve to be in this position because God says so. That's not true. But it was for people's personal benefit, so hey, everything goes. Because people assume that when you're gaslighting or when you're lying, it's the other person. It's the other person. So when it's not the other person, sometimes it's you. Like, sometimes you lie to yourself. So sometimes America has lied to itself for so long that the lie becomes a myth and becomes a fairy tale and becomes the glorious story of what is America. So it's like, that's a problem. That's a problem. So the other thing, so because I'm gonna get into a lot of what's going on in our society, that people like to play these games because they don't want to deal in the reality of the truth. So here's one of the first things, because I've heard people say this. Yes, you hear black people say, "Yo, y'all dump drugs in the black community," and then you hear black people go, you hear white people go, "Hey man, nobody told you to take the drugs," and it's like, bro. So we just gonna skip over the part that y'all orchestrated the plan to get all these drugs here. We're just gonna skip that over because, hey, I guess because it's manifest destiny and God told you can go to Central and South America and Asia and the Middle East to get drugs, to bring back for people to get high. Like, that's what we're going to say. We're just going to skip over that. That's what I mean by Gaslighting 101. And the reason I bring it up as an example is this. I had this clip of a pastor saying, be careful about people who play the victim in a situation that they created. And that, for me, sparked actually this live, because that's what America does. America will play the victim in a situation that America created, and then just act, and everybody is, supposed to just play along with this lie. So, people have an issue with the LGBT community and, this trans stuff, right? Why you got to be, the trans and, all of that stuff. You don't have to push this. You can't push this on our community or on our kids. And I get it. It's a problem. But at the same time, do you know why? One of the reasons behind that, quote unquote, being pushed to people's kids, and we don't want that lifestyle, is because that's what America does. It pushes a lifestyle onto other people that they don't want. So now it's just the gay group doing what white guys were doing, what feminists were doing. You get what I'm saying? That's all that is. That's all that is. So people like to play dumb and go, no. It's not. That's not the case. And case in point, when I hear people say, look at all the crime in America. Look at the, okay, crime is a situation that you created. You want to play the game of look at the education. People aren't getting educated. Yeah, okay, a bad education is something that you created. You get what I'm saying? So when we go to look at all of look at the global economics and how these other countries are catching the U.S., or they're gonna become a global power and U.S. is losing its power. That's a situation that you created. You wanted to go to all of these countries and get, quote unquote, cheap labor and bring them your manufacturing and production secrets to other countries. That's your fault. People want to play stupid, but that's the reality of it. The world hates America. Well, you want to act like you weren't bombing everybody in the world. You don't want to fall in line with what America wants. Bomb them, sanction them. Well, I guess that would mean the people you bombed and the people you sanctioned not gonna like you very much. But you gotta play the victim, right? It's a situation you created, but you gotta play the victim. All this crime in America. Last time I checked, you were in on it. Last time I checked, you were helping the mafia, the different types of mafias. You were helping, the triad and the yakuza. You were helping the quote unquote black gangs. Not so much help, but whatever. But there was a little help. But yeah, you were helping the cartels. Was and are. So at the end of the day, if you got an issue with crime, it's a situation you created. If you want crime to stop, you got to fix it. You created all of these networks for criminal organizations to thrive and work. Nobody else did that. It's kind of like, and I say it in a biblical way, I know the devil, quote unquote, got kicked out of heaven. But it's like the devil being in hell and making hell his home and going on earth to orchestrate all of these other people to go to hell. And then when everybody gets to hell with him, he go, I don't like being here. I don't like this place. I don't like this place at all. I'd rather be in heaven. Like, bro, this is the home that you created. You work for this. So it's American gaslighting. Thus the stereotypes. And you know what? I take that back. I might not just get into the stereotypes just yet. I would say, changing the focus of a discussion by questioning somebody's credibility. In America, that's a thing. If you don't fit my perfect stereotype for what I think you should be, I don't want to hear what you got to say, even if it's the truth, even if it's right. So it's like, oh, okay. So what you're telling me is, at the end of the day, if you won't accept what is true, unless it's packaged in a way for me to so I could tap into your quote unquote subconscious. I gotta look the way you want me to look. I gotta talk the way you want me to talk. I gotta walk the way you want me to walk. I gotta do it in a way that's convenient for you and you in particular. And if I don't fit it. Just like when people say, politically, let's just go right now, the conservative liberal thing, right? Once you put somebody in a box of, if I'm a conservative and you're a liberal, the way this country works, if I'm a conservative and I'm talking to a liberal, the minute I identify that they're a liberal, nothing they have to say is relevant, even if it's true. And if I'm a liberal and I'm talking to a conservative, and the minute I pinpoint they're a conservative, nothing that they say is true or relevant or correct. Once I pinpoint it, that's what they are. And you used to see this all the time, on television and discussions and debates. It's kind of like if the police pull you over and they ain't got nothing, do you have any drugs in the car? Look, man, you just trying to figure out something to identify me as, to try to attack me. That's all that is. So that's what this country does. And the issue is, do I have more like-minded people than me? Do I have more like-minded people just like me, rather? Or do I have more, how can I say this? More people anti my opinion. And they say majority wins, majority rules, go. So now what you're dealing with is a bunch of people who are gravitating to their like-mindedness, and they're trying to, we got numbers because we all are the same. And it's like, no, y'all just all believe in the same lie. Y'all all have a certain a narrative that y'all all believe in. And usually it's American gaslighting, which means, the way I see things is right and the way you see things is wrong. And no matter what you say, you're not going to convince me, because what's most important is you're my enemy. And that's what this country was built on. The idea that, the person across from you is your enemy. So all's fair in love and war, even if they don't know that there's love or war. So it becomes gaslighting. And the reason I say it becomes gaslighting is because it's basically the equivalent to picking a fight with somebody who they didn't suspect you to pick a fight with them. They were just minding their business, doing their own thing. But you as a person made up your mind that That person over there, I'm gonna fight them. So the minute that person, catches on that you're picking a fight, it's like, okay, so let's fight. And then you go, oh, that no, you perceive this thing all wrong, which means, they were gonna pick a fight with you when they thought they had a chance at winning. Because that's what they assumed. Their delusion made them think, oh, I can take that one. And then something clicked and they was like, no, I can't win this. So let me just play stupid and say, oh, this was a big misunderstanding. That's the American, that's American gaslighting. Then another reason for this is, for me, sometimes gaslighting is a tactic to stall. I'm wasting time. So as long as I could confuse you or waste your time, I can keep doing what I'm doing. Or I can keep benefiting the way I'm benefiting. So a lot of times you got a lot of different people who are just playing stupid for time. That's all they're doing. Look, if I could stall this situation for another 5 minutes, I could be out of here. So that's where we're going with this. And the issue becomes, let's just use politics and all these slogans. It's not just hope and change and make America great again. I forgot the other one. I think one of them was change back in the day. All of these, but America has a lot of different slogans. And usually the slogans, for some odd reason, when they really hit, they resonate with people. But in essence, they don't really mean anything. It's just something to make you feel better for a short time period. Like, it's the same thing when people talk about like America and the military. And I've said it before, we're going abroad fighting for your freedom. No, you're not. That's gaslighting. We're going somewhere to be a peacekeeper. No, you're not. If there was peace before you got there, and when you got there, it became war. You didn't go to keep any peace. You went to cause chaos. You name it. You name yourself one thing, and you're the complete opposite of it. We're fighting for your freedom. Who trying to take our freedom from which country? Nobody can ever say who's trying to take our quote unquote freedom is from where. Is Russia trying to take our freedom? Is Australia trying to take our freedom? Is the UK trying to take our freedom? Is Africa trying to take our freedom? Is China trying to take our freedom? Middle East? Who specifically? You can't answer that question because there ain't nobody who's actually doing it. So to make people feel like little puppets, of the quote unquote American way, you got to give people lies that they got to follow. And one of those is that we're doing it for your freedom. It's like, no, you're not. No, you're not. Now getting into some other things, even about the stereotype part. Sometimes people give you a stereotype in order for them to go too far. And that's been a thing in American culture. If I can make up in my mind that you're such and such, then I could really cross pretty much all the boundaries that I want to. And then somebody is going to not necessarily justify, but enable the behavior. If I feel like I'm in danger, oh my God, I have to defend myself. And the person that you attacked had no idea that you felt like you was in danger, anything was going on with you, because they wasn't even paying attention to you. You just chose a target and you went with it. So now you gotta, no, I was, I thought they were doing this and they looked like this and they seemed like this and it made me feel like this. And it's like, oh, okay. So, but what did they do? Nothing. But I felt such a way about, their presence that I knew something was gonna go down, and I just jumped to action before there was any action to have. It's like, okay, all right, because this is a hypocrisy. The hypocrisy of the, sometimes it's not necessarily it's a team of people gaslighting together. You know, kind of like the Sonya Massey situation, right? That's American gaslighting at its finest. What you saw on the tape, you saw on the tape. That ain't even the part I'm talking about. The part I'm talking about is when the partner walks outside and all the other cops are just there in dead silence, like, I don't want to say nothing because we all on body cam, so we just gonna all, now we're all complicit. Now we're all accomplices, because as long as I don't incriminate my fellow officer, you won't be able to drag me to court and possibly not him to court. It's the gaslighting of, you don't think the police are gonna try to get that dismissed. You don't think they're gonna put pressure on the DA because it's a cop, you get what I'm saying, that did the shooting. You don't think the judge might be in on it. That's how it normally is. People don't want to hear it, but that's what it is. You don't want to hear that if they have a jury of quote unquote peers, all the peers somehow, for the most part, are white or some type of immigrant that agrees with white people. The cop can't get life. The cop can't get the death penalty. And we're going to play like, oh, the reality is if he gets a couple of years, it's that's a win. No, it's not. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. That's where we having an issue, because now it's more and more gaslighting. Same thing, I think somebody's messaging me. Okay. You see it with and I've kind of slowed down by getting into the relationship conversations, but you see it all online. That's classic gaslighting. People just don't want to take responsibility for their own actions. People don't want to say, yeah, I got myself in this position. People got a plan. And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this as a response to that. I think America has become more tribal. But I think America was always tribal. America started off tribal. White people versus them Indians. White people versus them black folks. White people versus them Asians. In Chinese, Japanese. White people versus the Italians when they first got here. White people versus the Irish. And white people versus the Middle Easterners. So now it's just people have, a lot of people have gotten the message. Oh, okay, no problem. You over there, I'm over here. No problem. I got your point. And this is the problem with that. People wanted to benefit off of other people. And when you make it so tribal in America, you can't benefit. So, Now I can't steal your idea because we're not in the same space. Now I can't get with this other group of people and figure out a way to throw you under the bus while we take your invention. Can't do that because we're not in the same space. Now you can't sell me your new product because I'm not interested in it, because all of your marketing and studying of us and our people, it's all, what is it, conjecture? It's all really made up. So now when you get it wrong, which people do a lot, you come at people in I wouldn't say it's arrogant, but uninformed, in an uninformed way. And those people don't respond the way you want them to, because your research or your research team took basic human interaction out of the equation. So now it's super tribal, and now people are getting upset, man. We the same people that wanted us to be, that wanted to be separate from us, are the same people crying that we need to come together. And like I said, that's gaslighting 101. I want this, and I want the benefits from this, but you getting benefits, I want the benefits from you. And you're getting benefits, I want the benefits for you. And now, the doors are closing. And because the doors are closing, people don't know what to do. Now, another thing that's interesting, we say everybody chips in America. Everybody pays their taxes, but that's not really true. It's not really true. It's like the richer you are, the less taxes you pay. Why? Because a lot of rich people have a lot of real estate and stock and stock options, which means they don't have taxable income per se. Because real estate is one you very much so understand, because real estate is basically a cash business, whether you like it or not. So if you pay it off, if you have multiple properties and you already paid the properties off, if you rent them out, you can't get taxed on it because you already quote unquote paid for it. Stocks, you didn't cash them out, so there's nothing to tax because you didn't use it as income per se. So people could trade their stock options, because they have access to them. But anyway, let's move on, right? The other thing, like the gaslighting in our community, man, thank you. You appreciate you, man. So the other thing about the gaslighting, and that's when I was talking about the relationship part. This is where you see people, playing the entitlement game. You're supposed to do this for me. And it's really, the truth of the matter is, when somebody's demanding somebody do something for them, that's usually something that they're not doing for themselves, and they want somebody else to foot the bill. And then you put gender in it just to put the cherry on top. Like, hopefully I can guilt you into doing this, or I can shame you into doing this. And it's like, it's gaslighting 101, man. You're manipulative. You're manipulative. You're manipulating the situation. So you see it over and over and over and over again. And now, I'm gonna get into like the stereotypes, because if you have a if you have a negative stereotype in America, it could be detrimental to your existence, because another person could be in the wrong, but but everybody's just gonna bring up your stereotype, and people just form together like Voltron. Like, how can I say this properly? You can have a white person doing criminal activity and get a black person, arrested because to them they look suspicious, which means I'm taking the heat off of me and I'm putting it on you, because in this country, if I know you fit a person's stereotype, I can use your belief in that stereotype to my advantage. You've seen it time and time again. So that becomes a problem. So now it's become such a problem that a lot of times you can't get down to the facts of a situation, because people's feelings are more important. And that's why I said, American gaslighting. American gaslighting is in the feelings, and it's in the people's feelings. And sometimes it's a person's feeling that they're better than another person, whether that be race, class, upbringing, skill level, education, whatever it is. People are looking for that edge to say that I'm a better human being than you. And for the most part, on one end it's used to brainwash us, and on another end, it's used to exploit us. And what I mean by brainwash, I'll go back to that. But patriotism is just gaslighting. To think, we're Americans, we're the best at everything, and this is America, we're number one at everything in the world because America's American. Stop it. That's just gaslighting. That's just pumping up your ego. Just like, I feel like my city's better than your city. I feel like my high school is better than your high school. I feel like my college is better than your college. It doesn't have to be facts. It just has to be a feeling, because I went there and I experienced it. That means it's the best. And it's like, can't really say that. But that's part of, quote unquote, the brainwashing. And people like to play stupid. Like, no, you're not getting brainwashed. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. On the other end, when people want to exploit you, if you can use, if the USA flag, or if America comes up in a conversation, or people know that America is probably going to be in this situation, you got people that are just, sign themselves up to be shot at, because they, quote unquote, believe in the, quote unquote, ideology of the founding fathers in America, which wasn't true. Like, you can't have a group of people talking to you about freedom when the majority of them were owning slaves at the moment that they created all of this doctrine that says all of these rules that they didn't abide by, but they were for generations behind them's freedom. It's like, it's stupid. It's just really stupid. But that's, American gaslighting. Not to mention, you can take that to, if you buy a car, right? Oh, these cars are better than those cars, and this is good old American muscle, and that's foreign engineering, and that's German engineering. That's a Japanese car. They're gonna last forever. And it's like, do y'all know why some of these companies go under? Because of marketing. That's all. It's marketing. They told you something was good, and you believed it. You bought into the product, and then the minute you bought into the product, you know what they did? They shortchanged it. That's all they did. They said we got our number of people. We hit our number, and now what we gonna do is we're gonna give you less of a product. Because how are you gonna know? You just got here. So that becomes a whole nother issue in itself. But, taking that quote unquote a step further, the thing about American gaslighting is it has a lot of arrogance to it. A lot of arrogance. That was the when people were talking about that CRT conversation, critical race theory. It's like, bro, y'all are mad about something that wasn't even gonna happen. Y'all were pre-mad just in case it might possibly happen one day. It's like, so y'all mad about history. Understood. Y'all don't want people to know some of the histories of America that people don't, quote unquote, want to deal with. That's gaslighting. That's like me living in let's just say a $700,000 home in one of those neighborhoods. And it's maybe 1,000 other families in this subdivision. Let's just say 500. And, I become successful, blah, blah, blah. And the people in my neighborhood go like, man, see, you're one of the good ones. It's like, what? If you can make it here, anybody can make it. Like, no, because if you put somebody in my shoes, they might not make it. Matter of fact, if I was to put you in my shoes, you wouldn't make it. But people seem to be out of touch with reality. So much so that it causes a rift with everybody else. You know what? It's been a long day. I'm going to get up out of here. I just wanted to touch on it because the gaslighting is crazy. But y'all tell me what y'all think, man. Like, share, subscribe. Catch y'all on the next one. All right, where did I put this thing in, though? Peace. Uh-oh, I done messed up. I put out the wrong one. Sometimes I make mistakes. But, there we go. Peace.
It looks like a job for Superman.
Do this,
Spoken from the lips of the young or the old, fear of me.
Yeah. Gotta put it all in.
And they are Superman.
All the way.
I guess I'm taking off the cake through the glasses in the trash. Being super is great, saving y'all is such a drag. Even God took a break, me I ain't coming back. I got one life to live, if you don't like it, that's your ass. Cause nobody saved me, cause when I'm drunk, I'm just a peon. I could use somebody just like I'm the kings of neon. This world is cold as ice, mixed with salt, mixed with freon. They got me pissed off, but that's better than being peed on. For eons, human beings took kindness for weakness. When you constipated, you start to appreciate shit. Put before you life and death, and you just gotta choose. The kryptonite life means you still follow the rules. If your credit's messed up or your bills ain't paid, then it's getting disconnected. Can't nobody say the day. And I can fly, leave a building in a single bound. But I can't stand fair weather friends, and I just fly around. My super friends is Justice League. Only folk I kick it with. Kill Lex Luthor, so what? We had to finish it. Kids play games and adults play for keeps. And me, I play to win, but I ain't playing in these streets. And life is not a joke, then again it ain't this serious. Superman can say the day, but God can say the Superman. Saga of the kryptonite, life just ended. You enjoy listening? Man, I finished it.
Lois, come holler at me. I got an ice couch. Thank you for coming out. Listen, I knew you would like it because we made it. I'm so frigid and so fly.